Okay, we'll solve the second problem under the fair value method. From the following information relating to Zenith Company, calculate the fair value of an equity share. You have share capital 20,000 shares of 10 each, reserves and surplus, current liabilities. Under asset, you have tangible fixed assets and current assets. For the purpose of valuation, goodwill, fixed asset and current assets were valued at 30, 2,70 and 80,000. So market value is given for all these three. The average profit on the basis of profit of last 4 years was 60,000. So average profit is also calculated for you. You don't have to worry. The company transfers only 25% of the profit to the general reserve every year. The market yield of a similar type of share is 15%. So in this they have not told you whether this is earnings or dividend, but we consider it to be earnings. So now, because for earnings and for rate of dividend it is the same formula, so we will consider it to be as earnings itself. So it is a second problem under your yield method. So first I will write the formula for fair value. Fair value is equal to IV plus YV divided by 2. So IV is equal to net assets available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. Okay, so first I have to find out the net assets available. So I am going to consider all the assets that is given in the problem. In the adjustments you have the market value given. So goodwill is given at the market value, which is 30,000. Fixed assets also they have told you consider the market value 2,70,000. Then current assets also they have told you to take the market value, which is 80,000. So we have taken all the assets. There is no any other asset left in the balance sheet. So I have taken all the assets. So the total of all this will give me 3,80,000. Now I have to minus the outside liability and preference share capital. Since you don't have preference share capital, I am only minusing the outside liability. You only have current liability, which is given in the problem, that is 60,000. Okay. So when you minus these two, you get 3,20,000. This 3,20,000 is called as your net assets available to equity shareholders. So in the formula, 3,20,000 divided by total number of shares is 20,000. So 3,20,000 divided by 20, you will get rupees 16 per share. So intrinsic value is done. Let us do the yield value. So yield value, the formula is valuation of share is equal to paid up value per share into expected rate of earnings, or you can call it as returns also, divided by normal rate of earnings. Therefore, your expected rate of earnings is equal to profit available to equity shareholders. I am writing it in the short form, divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. So having this in mind, let us solve the problem. So you need profit available. In the question they have already given you the average profit for the last 4 years. So the average profit for the last 4 years is 60,000. From this, the only concept that I have to minus is the transfer to general reserve, because you don't have information on depreciation, bad debts and all. So I'm only transferring the general reserve, which they have given the percentage to be as 25%. Okay, so 25% of 60,000 is 15,000. Okay, so 60,000 minus 15,000, you will get 45,000. This 45,000 is my profit available to your equity shareholders. Okay, this is your profit available to equity shareholders. So get back to the formula. 45,000 divided by paid up equity share capital given in the question is 2 lakh into 100. So 45,000 divided by 2 lakh into 100 will give you 22.5. 22.5%. Okay, so therefore value of share is, paid up value per share is 10, expected earnings is 22.5, normal earnings which is already available in the question is 15. It's already told in the question. So 22.5 into 10 divided by 15 will give you rupees 15 per share. Okay, so therefore your fair value IV, what we have found out, was 16, YV is 15 divided by 2. So 16 plus 15 divided by 2 is rupees 15.5 per share. Okay, I hope the problem is clear, because you don't have any adjustments as such. Everything is directly available. You just have to write the formula and substitute. Let us solve another problem. With this we are completing with the chapter. Okay. See, the following is the balance sheet of Basaveshwar Limited as on 31st March 2015. You have share capital 4,000 shares of 100 each, reserves and surplus, and you have creditors. Here you have tangible fixed assets, intangible fixed assets which is patent, stock, debtors and bank. This is similar to problem number 1. See, general reserve, you have 80-20 preliminary expense, P&L is a surplus. Under tangible fixed assets, it is land and building, plant and machinery. The expert valuer valued land and building at 3 lakh. So 3 lakh is a market value. Goodwill at 3 lakh 50,000, machinery at 2 lakh 20,000. You also have depreciation on building and machinery which is at 10%. So we know we show depreciation in your yield method. And then you have profits given for 3 years. The company follows a practice of transferring 20% of the profit to general reserve. Similar type of companies earn 10% on their shares, which is the rate of earnings. Ascertain intrinsic value, yield value and fair value. So let us do this problem. This is same to problem number 1, only the figures have changed. So let me write the formula first and then we'll start. So this is problem number 3. Under the fair value method, we are doing problem number 3. So first I will write the formula. First they have asked is intrinsic value. So intrinsic value, the value of share is given by the formula net assets available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. So first let us calculate the net assets available. So we'll start one by one, which are the market value of the assets given. For those assets where you do not have the market value, we will write the book value. So I am first starting from land and building which is given. Okay, land and building market value is given 3 lakh. Then goodwill, again you have market value for goodwill which is 3 lakh 50,000. Then you have machinery which is 2 lakh 20,000. So these are the market value which is available. The rest information will take it from the balance sheet. So under the tangible, land and building, plant and machinery is done. You have patent, which I am going to consider it at book value of 70,000. Okay, then current assets, you have stock. Again I am going to take at book value 1 lakh. Then you have debtors. Again I am going to take at the book value, which is 1,60,000. Now you don't have bad debts, so I am directly writing 1,60,000. Then I am writing bank. Bank will usually be at the book value only, so 1,20,000. So take the total of all this, you will get 13,20,000. So 13,20,000 is my total assets, from which I should minus the outside liability and preference share capital. Again there is no preference share capital. Under outside liability you have only one item, which is your creditors. Creditors, the value given is 3,76,000. So minus these two, you will get 9,44,000. This 9,44,000 is your net assets available to equity shareholders. So quickly we will substitute in the formula. So 9 lakh. Okay. 9 lakh. So 9,44,000 divided by number of shares, which is clearly given is 4,000. Therefore your IV, or therefore your net assets, is rupees 236. Okay. Now let us solve yield method. So under yield method I am going to follow rate of earnings. So value of share is equal to paid up value per share into expected rate of earnings divided by normal rate of earnings. Okay, your expected rate of earnings is given by the formula profit available to equity shareholders divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. This is the formula which we all know. So first we are supposed to find out the profit available. Okay, now same thing what we have done for the first problem. So we have the profit which is given for 3 years. 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15. So first we will write total profit. This is all 3 years. Okay. So the total profit, if you take for the all 3 years, you will get 4,80,000. Okay, in first problem we had minused bad debts. Here we don't have any bad debts. So therefore directly I am going to consider the average profit. So average profit is 4,80,000 divided by 3. So your average profit is 1,60,000. With this average annual profit I am going to make the adjustment. What adjustment did we do in the first problem? First problem, after writing average annual profit, we had checked with the depreciation. So depreciation is given for land and building. Okay, or building. Land and building. Okay. So for the land and building depreciation, the market value which was given in the question is 3 lakh. The book value of the same land and building which was given in the balance sheet was 2 lakh. So if you see here, the market value has increased from the book value. So here the depreciation has to be minused. So 3 lakh minus 2 lakh is 1 lakh. 1 lakh into depreciation percentage mentioned is 10%. So 1 lakh 10%, you get 10,000. Okay, this is 1 lakh into 10%. Next is depreciation on machinery. Okay, again here the market value was 2 lakh 20. Book value of machinery given is 2 lakh 50. Okay, so if you see here the market value has decreased when compared to your book value, so depreciation should be added. So 2 lakh 20 minus 2 lakh 50 will get 30,000. 30,000 10% is 3,000. This should be added. So this is 30,000 into 10%. Okay, so first let us see this. So 1,60,000 minus 10 plus 3, you will get 1,53,000. Okay, you don't have any bad debts, but remember they have told you you have to transfer 10% profit to general reserve. So this has to be adjusted. So now after this I am going to write minus transfer to general reserve at 20%. So 1,53,000 20% will give you 30,600. Okay, so now it is 1,22,400. This 1,22,400 is called as your profit available to equity shareholders. So now let us substitute in the formula. Profit available, which we had found out, was 1,22,400. Paid up equity share capital directly given in the question is 4 lakh into 100. You get 30.6%. Substitute in this formula. Paid up value per share is 100. Expected is 30.6 divided by normal rate of earnings is 10. So into 100 divided by 10, you will get 306. So it is rupees 306 is the yield value. Okay, and your intrinsic value is 236. So let us substitute in the fair value method, fair value formula. Okay, so I am just writing it here itself. I will write here only. So therefore fair value is IV plus YV divided by 2. IV which we got was 236. YV which we got was 306 divided by 2. So it is rupees 271 per share is the face value. Okay. So with this we are completing with your valuation of shares as well. From next video onwards I am going to start with a new chapter. Now assignment is pending. I will tell you what the assignment is. Okay. So if you have any doubts in this valuation of shares, you can ask me. Go through the video properly and understand and then write down in your notes.